Here we are with yet another keyboard Redragon sent me with Mint Mambo linear switches. Can you believe this is my third one? Well, this time Redragon diverged from their usual mold with this one, and I gotta say, it's a breath of fresh air. Now, I'm not saying their other keyboards with their custom linear Mint Mambo switches have no individuality, because they both deliver slight differences in sound and feel. But this is a totally different experience. This is the Dharma K740 Pro, a wireless keyboard with 5 layers of thocky sound dampening, leaf spring and gasket structure, oh yeah, and a solid aluminum alloy case. That alone piqued my interest because the more Redragon keyboards I test, the more I feel they're becoming more or less too similar. But the Dharma K740 Pro has a sound and feel all its own compared to the rest of the family. I already talked about Redragon's custom linear Mint Mambo switches in at least 2 other videos, but if you're unfamiliar with them, they're pre-lubed with very smooth travel and typically quiet auditory feedback. Total travel is 3.6mm with 2 plus or minus 0.5mm of actuation travel, requiring 40 plus or minus 10 grams force, operation force, to actuate. On my other keyboards, like the K686 ASA Max and Antonium Pro, they're very quiet and feel much smoother. But on the Dharma K740 Pro, they feel heavier, more thocky, and almost like a tactile switch. Out of the 3, the Dharma's sound and feel is actually my favorite. In this keyboard, these switches remind me of another of Redragon's custom switches from the K656 Garum Pro that didn't catch on like the Mint Mambos, and that's their custom purple tactile switches. They didn't even get a designation like Mint Mambo, just custom purple, which is a shame because I love those switches. Despite the similar sound and feel, I do prefer the sound from the Dharma. And again, that's comparing all these keyboards. That being said, if you're not a fan, the Dharma Pro is hot swappable for more switch options. As for the feel when typing or gaming, again, the Dharma is my favorite. Some keyboards can feel spongy when you type, and the Dharma doesn't, which is probably a credit to the solid aluminum alloy case. It's also not overly loud in my opinion, but if you're looking for a whisper quiet keyboard, like for work or just due to personal preference, the Dharma may not be your ideal choice. Like many other keyboards out now, it does offer 5 layers of sound dampening like 3.5mm of PO foam, IXPE switch foam, PET sound pad, bottom socket foam, and a silicone dampener. It also utilizes a leaf spring and gasket structure, but since it also has that solid aluminum case, it's not nearly as flexible when you press down on keys. The design is a very different take compared to other Redragon keyboards as well. All the others I've tested are fully plastic and typically rather light. A lot of them also share a design language and 2-tone top and bottom contrasting cases. Meanwhile, the Dharma K740 Pro is extremely utilitarian. The body is a flat panel rectangle in black with only a white Redragon logo on the front right. You'll find 6 Phillips screws with 3 on either side. On the back, there's only a USB-C port because the wireless toggle switch and the Windows Mac layout switch are on the bottom of the case. This isn't a huge deal, but it's still something I find a bit annoying. The Dharma is a heavy keyboard weighing in at 1.15 kilograms or about 2.5 pounds. It's a chunky thing to pick up and turn over every time you want to power it on or off or switch modes. That and the switches are really small, which just makes the whole task a bit annoying. Moving on from that though, there's 2 rubber stabilization pads on the front and 4 little ones on the back on top of these 2 raised kickstand housings. If your preference is for your keyboard to lay flat, the Dharma is without, as those raised kickstand housings basically act as a permanent stage 1 kickstand, with one other stage available if you want to fold that out. Keycaps, in my opinion, are good. I like the black and purple vibe. The keycaps are made of PBT, they have a rounded edge, and the legends are pass-through. Being a 90% keyboard, it does offer the full numpad, as well as insert, page up, and page down, up top right next to a control knob. This knob controls volume and RGB brightness if you don't want to use function plus up and down arrows. The knob delivers great tactile feedback, and in my experience, every time it actuates, it changes the volume by increments of 2. It's a reliable control compared to others that when you turn them, the volume can change by a little or a lot. or sometimes the knob doesn't even actuate, or it changes values in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, I have not experienced such issues with this, which is much appreciated when I'm trying to make quick in-game volume adjustments. As for you, just press down on the knob. And when you want to switch from audio to RGB modes, hold function and press down on the knob to switch modes. In RGB mode, turning the knob adjusts RGB brightness, and pressing the knob down changes the backlighting mode. While on the topic of RGB, let's talk more about it. The Dharma Pro uses north-facing LEDs that pass through the legends. I personally prefer south-facing LEDs because I think they look brighter, but I know some of you will prefer that pass-through effect. If you don't want to use the knob to control RGB, you can also press function plus insert to cycle patterns, function plus up and down arrows to adjust brightness, and function plus left and right arrows to adjust pattern speed. You can even press function plus page up to cycle through solid colors on applicable patterns. And while mentioning a slew of function plus commands, if you're a fan of multimedia controls and various system shortcuts, you can press function plus F1 through 12, like function plus F7 to play last track, function plus F8 to play and pause, etc. One additional function plus command is function plus delete, which lets you see the remaining battery life in 10th percentiles along the top number keys. Now, the Dharma Pro is equipped with a 4000 mAh battery, so you should expect the keyboard to last days at a time before requiring a charge. That is, of course, if you go the wireless route. Or you can flip the mode switch underneath from Bluetooth or 2.4G to center and leave it plugged into either the included USB-C cable or another one of your choosing, like one of these coiled cords. But if you only wanted wired, you could have saved yourself $10 and went with the regular Dharma K740 model and not the Pro. So assuming you're here for the clean wireless aesthetic, you'll find your 2.4G dongle snapped to the bottom of the case when you first unbox your keyboard. You can just plug this into a USB port on your PC, slide the switch to 2.4G, and you're set. Go get your game on. As for Bluetooth, the Dharma Pro supports Bluetooth 3 and 5.0. Flip the switch on the bottom to BT, press and hold function plus 1, 2, or 3, make sure the M light is flashing, then search or scan for available devices, and it should be recognized as BT 3.0 and BT 5.0 keyboard. Lastly, software. If you're familiar with Redragon software, you'll know most of it's pretty much the exact same, and yet you need to download and install a different software for every keyboard. So let's head over to redragonshop.com, click software, scroll down a smidge, click keyboard, then search for Dharma K740 Pro. Click the image, then click software. Once in the software, you can adjust debounce, sleep timer, and reset or upgrade firmware under settings. You have the option to create multiple profile presets. Then there's your RGB backlight effects, including self-defining to customize each individual LED. Under Effect, which makes these rhythm effects sound bougie and French, but the different ones can sync with the rhythm of the system sound. And lastly, if you're a macros person, there are macros you can create. So that's been our look at Redragon's Dharma K740 Pro keyboard. If you're interested to add this keyboard to your own setup, you can pick it up from Amazon US or use code Moonrider to save 10% from redragonshop.com, but no pressure. I'll have links to both down in the description, as well as that discount code if you're interested. If not, and you just checked out the video to pass the time, that's all good. Thanks for clicking the video anyway. Until next time, later gamers.